Hi everyone, my name is Kayla Williams. I am a current community rehabilitation and disability studies major at University of Calgary, and I just finished my third year. For the pros and cons of my program, I'll definitely start with the cons first. The con is that it's so broad because I feel like if you're in bio or chem, you're studying bio or chem. But that honestly leads to its pros where it's such a broad major where you can go into so many things. I know people who are taking the MCAT this year in it and people who are going to public policy, like the more international relations aspect. So I think that is super cool how it's really what you want to make of it, and it literally gives you a stepping stone to all those possibilities. And this program allows for practicums. So think of it kind of like an internship, but it's really embedded into your program. So I am graduating with so much experience already under my belt, and I didn't even have to take a term off school because it's literally a class on its own. So like I have gotten to work with like the clinicals, research, and I've also done like hands-on work with like children with autism as well as adults with cognitive disabilities. So it's really great there, and I think that's such a really unique aspect to the program that many people don't know about. So definitely something to look for. And in terms of culture, this program is very, very small. So unlike other bigger majors such as business where you have more people, I believe it's like 30 to 65 kids per class, so you really get a really close connection, and the professors also tend to know you by name, which is such a huge aspect in my opinion. And everyone's super close-knit, and the environment is not competitive at all. And yeah, such a friendly environment and really, really helpful for post-grad. I cannot stress that enough. Core, which is the program's name, does not really have any labs, but for grad school I needed prereqs and anatomy, so I've taken a bunch of labs, so you probably will have experience doing it depending on what you want to go into. The program is pretty fast and slow paced. I would say it leans more towards like medium chill, especially in your second and third and fourth year. A lot of the stuff is online, so you won't even have to go into class. And yeah, so I would say first and second year is a lot of exams, and then the third and fourth year is a bunch of papers, like a bunch. The one thing I want to like point out is that if you think you can cheat, please try not to. I unfortunately know many people who have been caught with academic misconduct, and it's never fun. So please take that really seriously. I think the two most important skill sets to have for community rehabilitation is that being a critical thinker and being open-minded, because you are out in the field. So in your practicums, you are literally working with the community, and being open-minded for that is super important, as well as thinking on your feet, because you'll be put in situations where you might not know what to do, and you are currently right into that situation. As well, I was always very medical model based. Like I just like the cure, diagnosis, knowing everything. And this program is very social model based, which is a really good thing to remember. And one of the good things I think about that is that it gave me a really holistic way of thinking, and I got really open-minded because of it. So now I don't just think of like curing someone of a disease. I think about them as a whole individual, and I think that's super important. And in terms of studying, one of the things I wish I realized in first year is how to properly write an APA paper. Our program is entirely on APA, and I personally had no experience. Mind you, that's from BC's perspective. I don't know if it's different everywhere else, but I think having that like citation experience is super helpful. And for study tips, definitely reaching out to people in your program. Our program is very small and close-knit, so it's really easy to talk to people, in my opinion. I think building that base of people early will really help you. The first year is pretty introductory, and they suggest you also take first year psychology and sociology. So in your first year core classes, you'll learn a lot about the different philosophers and theories, and you do that as well within the soci and psychology classes as well. In terms of like content, the one biggest unique thing is that you're in your practicum right away. So one of the first classes you take will be Core 205, which is a practicum class. So right away you're in an organization and you're working out in the field. And then from there it just totally switches, and you're going more into like research and learning about ethics, and you can kind of choose what kind of path you want to take with that. You go from learning about like philosophers to data analysis. So it really gauges. That's what I mean by it's so broad. I personally applied to a bunch of schools in my senior year, one of them being UBC, where you required like a personal profile, like interview for videos. That was for Sauder. But for UFC, for this program, you didn't need it at all. It's all GPA based. I believe I handed in a 92%. And I think the website says like mid to high 80s, so that should be good. But I will say definitely talk to the advisors. One of the best things about our program is that we have one advisor because it's a small program, and it's like talking to a friend. She's so helpful. She's there for you, so definitely please reach out to her. But other than that, there was not any interest scholarships or anything you need to worry about. What I will say is that I applied to a bunch of scholarships, and I literally got one for being over 5'7", which sounds insane, but I did. So please don't fear rejection. I feel like so many people just think they're like automatically assume they're not going to get a scholarship. Don't think that. Like, please apply to everything you can, because the likelihood of you getting it is, you might. Like, honestly, if you don't try, you never will know. So please, because I got a bunch of scholarships that were so random that really, I basically funded my whole first year on just random scholarships, and it really helps. I love this question a lot. So in regards to high school, first of all, just note that I am talking from a British Columbia perspective. It could be different for different provinces and different countries, but I think the course that helped me the most is an elective I took in my senior year. I took History 12, and that was the first time I've ever been introduced to paraphrasing and using, I think we use MLA, but just like citing. That was so helpful, and I can't thank that teacher enough. At the time, I was so angry. I was like, this is stupid, like, why are we doing this? But really set the pace for all universities. So definitely that high school course, as well as the sciences. I took bio and chem in my senior year. I didn't take I hate physics, but I took bio and chem. That was super helpful. My program, you won't take first year calculus, but personally, I think calculus is always really helpful to have. Having bio, you don't have to take anatomy for core, but like if you're looking for other like stepping stones, like doing like a master's in occupational therapy, physiotherapy, speech even, like I think having bio is always really helpful and will offer diverse perspectives. So definitely those courses were super helpful. As well, I took advanced English, and although you don't need English in core, I think that just helps your writing skills, because you do a lot of writing in your third and fourth year, and just having that basis of knowing how to do grammar, writing is just so beneficial. So in terms of university classes itself, I'm a firm believer that GPA boosters do not exist. Yes, there are some classes that are easier, but I personally have done like worse in my GPA boosters than my like supposed hard classes. So I'm not a big like fan of that term, but what I will say is I think the classes that I do recommend is BSENS 395. So that's one of the courses you can take as a management option for core, and I think that was one of the most applicable courses. I absolutely loved it because you get to learn about business law, but a bunch of sectors of law, and it was super helpful. As well, Greek and Roman Studies 211. It is not just Greek and Roman, it's basically learning a bunch of medical terms. It is the like instant, you will get an A. If you put in the effort, you will get an A, but it's also super beneficial. As well, Econ 201. I think Econ 201, once again, it's not like GPA booster, but if you work hard, you will get an A in the class, and it's super helpful and really applicable for real life. So in my opinion, when it comes to easy and hard classes, definitely just take classes that would diversify your degree and help you. Let's say you're taking psychology, maybe take a business class to learn about the business side, or the opposite, if you're in business, take a religious studies class, a philosophy, learn different perspectives. So in terms of course registration, I know a lot of my friends like to do breaks. I don't. What I will say though is, and this like happened in my first year, I had 4 classes back to back all in one day, and I actually also had 3 midterms of those classes. So it was like midterm after midterm. So that's not fun. So definitely plan it out, but please take into account what the midterm schedule will be. A lot of the time you will get your syllabus. You can kind of plan out when all the midterms are, and then you have like a bit of leeway. I know if University of Calgary, like you have like a week to like change your classes. People always say don't take 8 a.m.s because you're gonna hate it. And I'm a huge morning person. In high school, like I did morning practice for basketball and rugby, and I was like, be easy, do not take an 8 a.m. class. Oh my goodness, you won't go. Like, I'm gonna be straight up, you won't go. I don't care if you're a morning person, please. And for core, you actually have a practicum, so you have to kind of plan your schedule out to fit in time that you'll be going like to your organizations. In your first year, it's only a 24-hour practicum, so it's pretty easy. The last thing I will say is that if your time is at 9:30 a.m., you get on there at 9:15 and you wait and you're ready and you have it all planned out. Do not just slowly do it, because courses fill up fast. And like I said, for core, it's a small program and it will fill up very quickly. So definitely plan ahead, organize your whole year, and that's what the advisors are there for. Again, they will help you do that, and just be prepared. Like I said, the program is broad. I know people like writing the MCAT this year. I'm going to occupational therapy. I'm kind of in a unique situation. I did a lot of business and I've joined a lot of business clubs as well. So I'm trying to do a dual degree in OT and an MBA. So I think what I recommend doing is in your first year, trying to like explore the options a bit. Allied health is a really, really big thing that's in our program, and just talking to others. So we have a Facebook group with a bunch of alumni, and a lot of people will like ask like the alumni what they have done, and like every year our advisor will make a post and a bunch of people will discuss like what they did with the program. So I have been talking to like different people who have done different things. In terms of internships, the one good thing is we have a practicum, so you already are basically doing an internship within your program. But I personally really recommend doing an internship. Like doing an internship on your own, you can really choose what you want to do, and it's always just good when you get to like postgrad or even just a job interview, just talking about what you have done, experiences is super, super helpful. And like I said, the advisors are there to help you. Definitely reach out to professors or anything as well. I know a lot of people who just email professors asking in our program if they are doing any research in the summer, and a lot of people are now doing research under professors, and that's not even part of the school curriculum. So definitely just don't be afraid to reach out, especially in first year. In first year, I know it seems scary, but no one like first, second, third, fourth, we're all the same. So please, like if you feel like you were capable of doing research, ask a teacher, look at resources, ask other students. I had the privilege of living on campus, and I think that if you can have the like facilities to, you definitely should. For cons, I would definitely say that University of Calgary is a commuter school. So I know a lot of my friends went to like Queens and Western. I know they have like 12, 13, 14 reses. We only have 2 like true first year reses, so it's a lot more close-knit and small. The pro with that though is that you get to really know everyone. As well, you're so close to classes. Like all my 9 a.m. classes, I would wake up at 8:45, brush my teeth, do my hair and go, and it was super, super convenient. I think it's a really nice like transition from like home life to that. So I lived in Kananaskis in my first year, which is the dormitory style. I lived with a roommate, so that's probably the cheapest option. There's also single rooms as well. In my opinion, I love my roommate, she was really nice, but I think what's best is like having a double roommate for sure, because on the first night, like I personally came alone to the school, and like having a roommate, you have that person to like lean on, like you get to like go out, explore stuff together. So that was super, super helpful. You have, I believe in your first year, the option to live in Can, Rundle, Yanaska, or Hotel Alma. I personally recommend living in Can and Rundle. I know it's a lot more, like the other 2 reses you see are a lot more bougier, like you have your own bathroom and stuff. But what I will say is that those reses you're shared with second years. Can and Rundle, you are solely with first years, and it is a old raggedy building, but that just makes it more of an experience in my opinion. But if not, and you want that like own bathroom privacy, definitely Yamnuska. I think that's really, really good. It's super, super nice. The one thing is Yamnuska is the only residence that doesn't have a tunnel, so our entire school is connected by tunnels, which is amazing. In terms of housing beyond campus, like I said, the commuter school, so we don't really have a student ghetto, quote unquote, as like Queen's University does. We do have an area, D block, which is right by the university, so that's where a lot of people tend to live on like after second year. Also, I realized this, we're one of the few schools that has a second year campus life. Like a lot of people live on campus second year, a bunch of other schools don't, so that's really helpful as well. And this is from a Vancouver perspective, because where I'm from, housing in Calgary is so much cheaper. Like I know people who go to UBC and like they have to pay like $850 to more for a place. You can get a whole house here for like $400 a month. I would just look for housing in the varsity area. If like after your first and second year, I definitely advise staying on res for year 1 and 2, because most people do. So it's kind of nice to like stay with your friends and transition off with everyone. In terms of the party culture, I'm gonna be straight cut and honest. If you're looking for that like university movie type like experience, the University of Calgary is not for you. In my opinion, if like I would go to another school that has more of like a close-knit campus life, such as Queens and Western. In saying that, it's not like we don't have any. Like I think our city does really well with the clubs, and as well our transit system goes right to it, so it's really good there. And there are parties. I'm not like saying there isn't. In saying that, it's what you make of it. If you don't want a party experience at all, you can go in that direction. You will find people that will not look at that at all. If you're looking for like a hardcore party experience, you can find people that want that, and you will live an experience like that. But in regards to popular go-to spots on campus, depends what you like, I guess. We have a building called the Atrium, which I think is the most beautiful building. It's this garden, like, it's like, it feels like you're in a forest in the middle of the school. It's my favorite place ever. As well, we have a lot of new buildings. So our school is pretty old in some parts, but then if you go in the back, like Schulich and ICT, definitely look those up. Those are gorgeous glass buildings. I personally have to study there as well. Mac Hall is like the center hub of the school where everything is. I think clubs are the best way to make friends, like 100%. And I personally founded my own club. Shout out to, I co-founded it with my friends, Empower UFC. Please check us out. Would love to have you guys, but I think our school does insane with the clubs, and I know our student union is super serious and they do an amazing job. And I know in like first year I was like, clubs, like why would I join that? But seriously, like clubs have so much influence in the school and you can do so much with them. In the second week of school, I believe we have a clubs week and all the clubs will start like promoting their stuff. Please, I definitely recommend checking them out because we have so many, and I promise you there is something for your interests. I'm in the faculty of medicine, but I'm really passionate about business, and I am in a bunch of business clubs. And so with that, I have a bunch of business experience as well. I have allowed myself to like market it for portfolios. I've gone to business networking events. Clubs are a perfect way to really open up your horizons and explore new things. University, you are there for 4 to 5, 6 years, however long. But those are such crucial years where you can really do whatever you want. The possibilities are endless, and I think clubs are such a great way to look into Greek life. So UBC, I know out of all like Canadian schools have like a really intense Greek life. We have it too. I know it's not as like super like intense, but I think like honestly, if you want to go for it, I know there's a big stigma around like sorority and Greek life, but what I will say, I don't know if it's a really relevant fact, but I went to a frat party my first year and they were the nicest guys ever. So don't be scared of the frat people. They're really nice. They're people. They're great. The sorority girls are all super nice too. And I know they do a lot of like good charity work in school, and it's also a really good way to make friends. I'm personally not part of it, but the people that I do know in it love it. They're doing great and they're all great people. I came to the school by myself without any friends. I just came with one person from my high school, so I was so into a whole new environment. And seriously, the best way to make friends is just talk to people. Like at first I was so scared, but I just started going and like saying hi, introducing myself, and it worked out so well because everyone there, even if you come with a whole group of friends, we're all in a whole new environment we haven't been in before. There's no harm in just saying hi, and honestly, it'll work out. And especially, I think just sitting next to people in your lectures and saying hi too will also really, really help. I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood, so I never was really, I'm half black, and I never really was exposed to like black people growing up. So going to U of C for the first time, I got to see a lot of black people, which was really, really interesting because I never got to before, and it really helped me like embrace my culture more. And I feel like Alberta, Calgary and Alberta have that stigma of being all Western, howdy, and I just want to say, do not let that deter you from going to the school, because I say USC was probably one of the most diverse environments I've ever been in. Obviously it's university, so a lot of people from other countries and everywhere is there, but I'm really happy I went there. And I at first I was really scared that I would be in the predominantly like white school and I wouldn't like do that well, but it was the exact opposite. As well, I joined a club called AXA, which is an African Caribbean club in my first year, and they really helped me connect with one half of my heritage. I'm also half Japanese, and it was really, really helpful. So yeah, just do not let that deter you. I think that it is pretty diverse. I actually was put on the engineering floor which was probably 90% international, so it's kind of cool. I got to see their transition from out of Canada to Canada, and I think they did really well. Like it was pretty good. I actually talked to some of them, and they said that just being around people that have the same experience, like whether you're from, like I know my friend's from Dubai and he's best friends with someone from Chicago, and they worked out really well together. Just having like, even though different countries, you have that experience of moving away from home. So really just connecting with the people on the floor was super, super helpful. We have the wellness center, which is in Mac Hall, which is our student hub, which is basically all things wellness, like if you need health questions as well as mental health. We have a lot of like sexual health advisors as well, so there are resources available. You just have to look them up. It can be pretty hard to find. I think universities should promote it better, but they are available, and definitely like I said, if you just reach out to an advisor, they will definitely help you. We also have a resource desk in the middle of Mac. This is obviously talking about in person, but we have a resource desk where my friends actually works in it, and they will also really like help you as well. And I believe we have a Q center, which was also helpful for the LGBTQ community, so resources are available there as well. I know I have a friend who's the president of the Business Pride Club, and they are doing amazing work. Just a little shout out there, but incredible work there. But yeah, so there are resources available. If you go on the university website, you can see all of them, but as well, the school does have insurance and medical. I personally opted out of the dental and health plan because I'm covered by my family. So definitely check into that, because then it'll be helpful if you have to pay. So in your first year, if you're on res, you have to have a meal plan. And I had a meal plan, and I probably ordered so much skip the dishes and DoorDash. Don't do that. Like, use your resources, okay? So definitely just use your resources. Cinnamon buns. I literally bought a cinnamon bun like probably every week, but just like think like an adult, just think responsibly and think long term. Thinking long term is huge. For organizational tips, yes. This is just me having a planner. I think my grades got like insanely better after using a planner and just writing down all the due dates. I personally know people that struggled a lot because I think since you're being alone, you have access to the clubs, you'll go clubbing every single week, and you start to like slowly fall behind, and you don't realize you're behind until you're really behind, and it's hard to catch up. So definitely just keeping up and just holding yourself accountable and just understanding why you're there, the purpose of being there, and just finding a balance. Just creating a balance early on will really, really help you in your career, and you will not struggle as much. Something I wish I took advantage of is definitely not being afraid to do a bunch of stuff when I was in first year. And what I mean by that is a bunch of like networking events or like speaking events or like running for like elections. I thought since I was first year, I was just seen as like too young to do it, but truly, like now as a third year, I'm looking at some first years coming in, and they are doing such incredible stuff. Just if anything, take away, just really trying to find yourself, explore everything you can, and just letting yourself be who you want to be in those 4 years, because I promise you it goes by so fast, and you'll look back and you realize you don't want to miss out on what you did. So best of luck to the next class and those who are currently in university, and I cannot wait for the future and what it holds for us.